Alright, it's a brand new week and slightly not as promised. I'm back again today. I was planning on being around yesterday during the day, but things got in the way of that. So here I am at my normal time on a Tuesday, going to begin the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles case number 4, which after the last case, I have some high hopes. So it's been a very rocky road so far. Like, the first entire half of the Ace Attorney was fine. Then we came back for the second half, which the opening case was fine as well. Then the second case was really kind of sucked. And then the third case came back and was really good. So we've got 2 cases left for the entirety of the Great Ace Attorney. And I'm hoping that these last 2 can keep up the quality of the second 2. And or the last one. The last thing we need is a repeat of the second case again. That one went everywhere and had so much of the thing I didn't like, and it's been going good. We also have our new dead in the second case of the first half. Kazuma isn't actually dead. Oh no, they didn't actually kill him off. He was alive the whole time, and Herlock Sholmes was keeping it from us. And not only that, but the murderer of the prosecutor who's been after us this entire time's brother, the murderer of his brother, and is Kazuma's father, which is the reason why Kazuma came here to Europe in the first place, assumably to fix or prosecute the murders his father did, even though his father was already killed, even though his father might not have been dead and then was killed after the accused execution. So we don't know what's fully going on there. All we know is that our boy is alive. And I gotta rematch the screen to fit the thing because the bloodline threw that completely off for some reason. There we go. Now we're back to normal. So we're gonna pick right back up where we left off, and we'll be finishing the Great Ace Attorney. However, we're 2 cases left to go. So let's start off with episode 4. Twisted Karma and His Last Blow. What Von Karma? Twisted Karma and His Last Bow. Or bow.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident.
Oh,
born
all the
of a
gingers.
curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder. An executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Eight days of that earth-shattering trial and Kazuma regaining his memory. We were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. 1st of November, 10:24 a.m., the Great Waterloo Foyer. Professor Mikitoba is due to arrive at any moment. Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time. Susato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. The truth about Kazuma-sama's father. Do you suppose my father knew? That he was actually the mass murderer? The professor, you mean? I knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, Didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right, but for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. That probably means he knows then. About Kazuma showing up here in London with amnesia, and that he's regained his memory now. Ah, there she is. Oh, Father.
Hello, Susato. How are you?
Very well, thank you. We're delighted to have you arrive safe and sound.
Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here.
Oh, no, not at all. It's my pleasure.
We've heard about all your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas.
It has?
I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive in the steamships from Britain.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man, and why do I feel as though I've seen him before?
I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a little reminder, Seshiro? A firm tap should do it.
Yes. A firm tap? What?
Here we go then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty.
Oh, you're...
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Your Excellency. Hello, Judge Chikogu. How are you? It's been a long time.
Good, you remember now. I really did the trick. Guilty.
I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? There was no laughing at that time.
So, London again after all this time? Hard to believe, it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I! And without pictures of Spider-Man, I didn't manage that Japan would ever be invented an international symposium like this. Though really, I would doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Seshiro? What are you talking about, Yujin?
Of course, Judge Chikogu. You must complete the seat. You must complete the set. He's the other man who 16 years ago came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the third visiting scholar.
Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ah, I knew you were jealous.
Sorry? Ministerial status?
Yes, didn't you know? Seshiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on the study tour. Guilty as charged.
Oh, well, thank you very much. He really every bit as important as he looks.
Ah, yes, now, Naruhodo. I received the telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday.
Oh, you did?
It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved in with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy.
Yes. Could you tell us any more about it? That desk is known as the hotel reception. Anyone wanting to spend the night here to report there to sign in for their stay. Oh, so do you think that head clerk behind the desk there? Yes, I'm sure it must be. I'd love to stay in a grand hotel like this for a while, wouldn't you? Just to know what it's like. If the hotel fee was paid through our stipend, I'm afraid I might bankrupt our homeland. True. London gives the word expensive a whole new meaning. So, how was your voyage here?
Well, 50 days a day at sea is a long time by anyone's standards. But it wasn't bad when we just came 16 years ago. No, that's true. Then I truly wondered if we wouldn't be drifting in a vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you. You were able to relax and enjoy the experience.
Ah, so you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris?
We did, yes. Though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port to Dunkirk for Dover. Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow.
I wonder what you were invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father.
That's thanks to Cicero here. 16 years ago, he managed to integrate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited. And I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default. Speak for yourself, Eugen. You were close friends with the professor of forensic science at a major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really. No, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back.
Cosimo's father, I suppose. The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Cosimo's father, wasn't he?
That's correct. Genshin Isogi.
Genshin. Wow, that name has a lot of impact nowadays. You knew, I presume, Father?
Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques in Scotland Yard. I never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts. It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland.
But what about Cosima? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father?
No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts.
Oh, why?
As you know, I tried to guide Cosimo growing up as if he were my own son. And one day he came to my office in university and said,
I've decided. I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death?
I don't know, but when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Except by saying no, so I didn't do it.
Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually.
Oh, what?
Well, having disappeared from Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Cosima since turned up here in London, working as an apprentice of Lord Van Zieks.
What? What? That's news to us.
So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. As you know, we both thought Cosima had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father?
Actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what happened, but no avail. But he's still alive, and here in London, you say. I never dared even to dream of it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now.
Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia.
What? Amnesia?
When we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were.
I see.
He only regained his memory 8 days ago.
This is unbelievable. Yes, it's quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. I must speak with him urgently.
I wonder how Cosimo's been these past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him?
That being 16 years ago now. A distant memory. Really. It was Eugen here, Genshin Isogi, and myself. We were the original 3. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you.
16 years ago. Things are tough for their generation.
Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yumi University at the time, you know, young lady.
Yes, grandmother told me.
He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy. Practically unheard of in Japan. Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Ugh, not more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons.
Not my cup of tea at all.
Did you remember that Scottish prison government? Caden was his name. He was a good man. Yes, but then of course, our 6th year here, everything changed in that dreadful case. When Genshin was arrested, for a series of most gruesome murders. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness to the secret hearing and tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? Well, suffice it to say that after the trial, we were sent back. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. It was a lost cause, sadly. Well, if you'll excuse us now. Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have held you up there for so long. I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Sasato's son gone off with a run.
I'd like to stay and talk more, but I have various preparations to make for tomorrow.
Yes, of course. Must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. Wish you the best of luck.
Naruhodo, I hope you'll keep an eye out on Sasato for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been.
Oh, no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me.
Well, I do appreciate you being there for her, after all. I've been a miserable father to her. I thoroughly let her down.
Sorry? What do you mean?
Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study here in Britain, you know. But the very year Sasato was born.
Yes, I heard.
The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sad it was accomplished, but the most tragic event of my life, too.
Oh, yeah. Sasato's son hinted at something like that. It was a rather turbulent time at home.
Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man, and it was then that Seshiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried about you to leave you behind, so perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So, that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say.
I completely understand, Professor.
Ah, one other thing, Naruto. Where's my goddamn pictures of Spider-Man? I may be so bold. I have a favor to ask you.
Oh, really? Of course. Well, what can I do for you?
Well, the thing is,
I'm sorry that took so long. Miss Sasato. Now then, allow us to take your bags.
Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, Porter. Oh, yeah, of course, sir. A machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at our hotel, sir. Well, I think given an occasion, it could justify the expense. Yes, of course.
I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It really made Father very happy, I think. Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before. Professor Mikotoba was about to ask me something. Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect I also have some delicious tea waiting for us. Yes, let's go. I'm getting more and more anxious about Cosmo, though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. Yeah, I don't care about exploring the backgrounds. I got more shit. There's lots of stuff to do. Hey, welcome back, Stormpike. It's good news that Professor McIntober arrived safely, isn't it? Yes, it's wonderful. Hope your new chair is nice. And the fact that Father has been invited to support an international event. Really makes me very proud to be his daughter. Your father, Judge Jikoku, us, and Kazuma too, of course. There's an ever-increasing number of Japanese here in Britain's capital, isn't there? Well, yes, I suppose so. But London does have a population of 6 million people, so I think we're still a minority. Sada-san's father, who came here as a visiting student 16 years ago in Cosmo. It's almost as if some great power has been at work, drawing them here across the ocean to London. It's almost as if the whole main cast is showing up. And I feel as though the waters are starting to swell again now. What was that? A man screaming in the most unflattering way. Do you think... could it have been Mr. Sholmes? Oh my, I do hope not. Mon ami, stop this disgraceful display, huh? Who are these people? Look at their hair, it's bright red. I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes. Alright, you two, you're coming with me now, down to the clink. Lord, presents, target Both the darkness is my friend. I am not scared. You may be fighting in it, but I was born in it. I'm scared of the dark. Shut your mouth, you idiot. I will sit quietly in the dark and plan our next daring heist. Well, tough. I'll finish this down at the yard. I'll get moving. Bye then, Ginny. Have fun. Oh yeah, thanks Iris, and thanks. You're a great detective. Yeah. Hey, I don't choose the voices. I just go off of what they drew. Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she? Oh, Susie and Bruno. Hello, Iris. We're home. Well, did you find your daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before his friends. And no, Iris, we don't call Mr. Naruhodo that outside of... Oh, well, that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon. Ah, yeah, your father. We still have... I mean, yeah, you'll get to meet him someday. Dr. John H. Wilson. Oh, Iris, all that remains now is that greatest of problems known to man. But before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order, don't you, my dear fellows? Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face? Not so much on your face as on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea. Whatever is going on here today. In that case, let us sit and drink now. For I am in fact expecting a guest later today. Mr. Sholmes, who were the two gentlemen that were here before? Oh, just a pair of petty criminals. Nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions. When the mood takes you? All manner of infractions? But When such fellows set their sights on Mr. Herlock Sholmes, well, that's when their luck runs out. Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes. But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to the young detective ally. You should have asked Gregsy to come too. We could have had an arresting tea party. I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is conceivably in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Ah, I have it. A bungler. That's the word. It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. So, those redheads have been up to no good. I wonder what the men did. What was that about the greatest problem known to man that you mentioned before? It is another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes. Now, how should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perhaps? Well, I think I've heard of it somewhere. Possibly. It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, that humans were once apes who lived in the treetops. Wait, what? We were apes? Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. Our lot? What is the greatest problem, Mr. Sholmes? Why, isn't it obvious, my dear madam? The problem of rent. True. Ha. But, did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame Two Spells only the other day? Pshaw, a large sum? Oh, are they like showing banner ads or whatever now? Like sneaking it in? Also, thank you for the 38 months, Stormpike. One spotted herb for Iris and a new motor car for me later, and all of this has quite disappeared, I assure you. Oh, an entire motor car? Yeah, I can understand why. A small sum. I got a small plant for Iris, and I bought an entire car for myself. It went super quick. Honestly, Hurley, you know you squandered it. Yes, well, you can, yeah, now you can pawn the car. Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem, for the coming month at least. And what was the answer? Why, there is a substantial clue before your very eyes. Don't tell me. Let me see. Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what is in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There is one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice in the end, I think. In the end? It's been stabbing me in both eyes in the very beginning of our conversation. I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruhodo. Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes any longer. Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago, you said to us. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. That case aboard the SS Birdie in January. Cosmo wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Huh? Of course. A side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia, as you know now. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew, but how? After they carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear to leave him unconscious and have them unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Oh, what? What the fuck do you mean? So you said you jump his body overboard? Oh, how horrible. And then you still had them come after me and say that I was the murderer? God damn it, Sholmes. It was necessary to find some material of which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course. But why? Why didn't you do it in the first place? I will be at the liberty to elaborate in due course. But for the time being, I'm keeping it a secret until I can reveal it midway through the next case. But for the time being, I would like to reassure you, I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh! I believe I may have made a gross error in judgment. Yeah, you're gonna have to have a really good reason why you lied to us and pretended he was dead the whole time instead of just reviving him and continuing on our journey. Mr. Sholmes. Yeah, we kind of really would like you to tell us it right now. First of November, British Supreme Court. Here is the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented the original with the figures you asked me from the yard.
I see. Excellent work. Thank you.
You're welcome, my lord. What's Lord Van Zeeks doing here? My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say? This place is stifling enough as it is. We really don't need any more tension.
My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me.
Oh, no, it's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here.
Now then, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord. I'm right here. Ugh, kill me now.
Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room such as a perfect temperature.
If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise.
Because of the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly.
As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow, and I still haven't figured a good acronym for it yet. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, I hear, madam.
Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited.
I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting room in your capable hands then, Lord Van Zeeks.
I will attend at once. He gave you a really cold stare as you left, didn't he? You know, I know, but I haven't done anything, have I?
These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in spectacular fashion.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service? Mr. Naruhodo was talking about Dr. Scythe. Ah, of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just,
Fear not. You've done nothing wrong. Dr. Scythe's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with it any further.
That would be a lot easier to do if I weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me.
Lord Van Zeeks is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. Though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday.
Oh, missing? What's become of Kazuma-sama now?
Not long ago, visitor numbers of the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million.
30 million? Are there even that many people in the world? As a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital of Tokyo is 2 million.
I will be opening the IFSS in the exhibition's main auditorium. I tried it. I don't like it. Fuck you. Say the whole thing. I will be operating the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries.
It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations.
The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques, and cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential, which is why this landmark first symposium has to be hosted here at the heart of the Great British Empire, in order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World.
He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his quite something. You're every bit as passionate in your own way. I'm sure, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about the future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambition. I first established a forensic investigation team a year ago. Experimentally to start with. With Dr. Scythe at the helm, it was a steadily accruing and an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department.
And could you not do that now?
Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say.
Unintended repercussions of her trial. Well, if she wasn't fucking embezzling scalpel money. We simply couldn't have overlooked what happened, though.
Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. But I'm not. Fuck you. I'm gonna kill you in the next mission. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. Including you!
About Lord Van Zeek's apprentice.
Ah, yes. That came as a surprise to me, I must say. That you and he are old friends.
How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Zeek's in the first place?
It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. And they found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel.
Oh my. So he stowed away to get here?
He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact that he was clearly of Eastern descent, there was no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeek's. That's, yeah, absolute bullshit, by the way.
You alright? Mouse alert? Alright. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Good to go.
So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeek's. That way I could keep an eye on him. But then,
why the mask? Okay, so this is obviously bullshit. This motherfucker definitely was bringing him in for a reason. There's no way that, well, there was some random person who showed up and we didn't know who he was. So I just assigned him as apprentice to one of the country's greatest prosecutors. Like, what are you fucking doing here? Like, come on. But then, why the mask?
I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zeek's with the tiresome explanations about why.
Yeah, okay. This is absolute bullshit. Come on.
Tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice.
Because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask?
He's proving to be a great help to Lord Van Zeek's. I have high hopes for his future.
By the way, do you know where he's gone?
No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time being. because I need to keep that a mystery until the last mission when he shows up right in the middle as either the person accused of doing murder or actually dead this time.
Oh.
I take it you also didn't know that the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean. But I did, however. But I still let him take up an area of prominence. Genshin Asogi. That name has a great impact on me these days. Kazuma's father's crimes. What we learned from that trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's father was... Ah, yes. Genshin Asogi. The professor came 10 years ago, caused a great stir here in Britain.
They were such awful murders and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon.
And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London.
The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations.
Oh, you almost hit me on that one.
Between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct. However, it has to be noted that were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause.
What? Supporters of a mass murderer?
The majority of the men's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Or, so a fair few thinkers in London believed anyway.
Right. I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it? It seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Huh?
Ah, yeah. Ellipses on that one. Yeah, okay. I'm a lawyer. Let's see. Is there anything now that we've done all that? Is anyone back here? What? No, Mr. Sholmes standing in a corner somewhere. Okay, then this looks like last week's edition. What? That's an article circled in red ink there. It's an advertisement column. It says, "To the Red-Headed League."
The Red-Headed League?
What's that? I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but there's something on my face. Clearly this has something to do with that. Lively hair. The Red-Headed League article has been entered into the court record. The masked Kazuma wore when he was assigned to Lord Van Zeeks as his apprentice. When he cast it aside at the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up. We ought to give it back to him, I suppose. But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me, Coley, to wear it myself. But isn't he your best friend? Not anymore, he's not. The Red-Headed League. On account of the bequest of the late Elizabeth Hopkins, or Ezekiel Hopkins of Lebanon, PA, USA, there is now another vacancy open which entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week for purely nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound of body and mind and above the age of 21 years are eligible. Apply in person on the morning of the 31st in a large park on Lime Street. Get £4 per week if you are a redhead. Most fantastic money-making opportunity. Public health report. Despite the condition of the city of London itself of late, it has been a positive year for public health. In retrospect, truly more than any other nation, Britain has been successful in our endeavors, thanks to part of the generosity of its many inventors. It looks as though someone's circling an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Sholmes. To the Red-Headed League, huh? Does that strike you in some way? I was thinking that just maybe it might be related to your bright red hair. So, at last, you've learnt to apply my methods, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? In the first instance, and quite indispensable, observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut. So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits. Regale or boast? There's a difference. So what is the Red-Headed League, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement you've circled? You noticed it in the paper then? That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's rent payment. It was? How? According to the advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me.
But listen to what the lucky redheads receive once they join. An unconditional salary of £4 a week. Oh my, £4 a week?
But why? Why are they paying people? What are they paying people for? That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement. But surely every red-headed person in the country would be flocking to join in that case.
You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put my application in at once.
So will I, just on the off chance. That might be stretching a point, I think.
The trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see.
Oh, I see. So once a certain number of people have joined, no one else can? But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away, and 2 more just got arrested. Oh, damn. Can you believe it? It wasn't particularly lucky for the redhead in question, I feel, Mr. Sholmes. So, you decided to try joining in this place? Correct. I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow? No. So why? Why did it have to go so wrong? What? What on earth happened? A blunder, Mr. Naruhodo. Though it pains me to admit. What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes? I'm glad you asked, Mr. Sato. What you see atop my head is neither dyed nor a hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry. Chemistry? I was conducting some research into a method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves, and in the course of my work I stumbled upon a potion that, when taken, turns one hair a flame-like red. Would you like to try it? It would make every hair on your body perfectly crimson. I think I'll pass.
But, Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it?
Amateurs are always hampered by such fears.
Oh, I should never have doubted you, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Sholmes, you mean to say?
But of course. To earn £4 a week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger. That degree of red signals more than just a little danger, surely.
So anyway, Hurley left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. For the park on Lime Street where the Red-Headed League were interviewing prospective new members.
So, what went wrong? The whole park was choked with red-headed folk, like a coaster's orange barrel. I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. But when the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Ah, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, Are you in disguise to conduct an investigation? So naturally, I had no choice but to reply. Shush, don't give me away. After which, I could do little else but turn and leave. Then this morning, when I looked into the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police.
Oh dear, what a disaster. For Hurley and those two redheads.
I went in there to fake being a redhead so I could get free money for rent. They called me out on it, so I got 2 of them arrested. Good story, Mr. Schultz. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Ah, there's my guest now. My latest client with money to spend.
Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Hurley.
Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating, save locating a runaway, of course. Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you?
Oh dear, I'm afraid that Hurley can lack a little tact, especially just before rent is due.
Thwack. Oh, it's her again, from the fucking jury last case. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, please, oh please, please find my husband. He's run away. His name is Kazuma. To upset me, I beg your pardon. Never mind, a personal matter, my apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruhodo? I didn't say a word. Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please.
Of course.
What's the matter, Mrs. Sato?
Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently.
Yes, now that you come to mention it. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure. Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam. Being offered a case to solve is a reward enough. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are the picture of benevolence. I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you will remember your words also. If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be... Oh, me? What I am about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand? Ah, these are my friends. I assure you, you may say before a pair anything which you may say to me. They are defense attorneys, after all. Ah, I see. I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. Why did I ever get my hopes up? Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps? Oh my. Pshaw, my dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate between the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion. Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week? I knew I recognized her. To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hands. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now. It must be difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean. Pardon? Oh dear, I'm sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippery, really, nothing more. Now look what you started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much. I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner as I continue to own you, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah. Tell us something about your husband, madam. Mr. Vigil, my daily, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here. An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married? It was 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so I live in quite comfortably. As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things. Oh gosh. Sorry, oh gosh. Your dress is the latest style, your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct? That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he's rather dotes on me. Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or another. Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will? What exactly is your husband's line of work? He is a warder at the prison. A guard? That's somewhat unusual. So, your husband is a prison warder. That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's a chief warder. Indeed, I see. Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation. Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out. Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishment? And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he is remunerated more handsomely than the other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors. Yes, I believe your prudence is just a... So her husband is not just a prison guard, her husband is also the executioner. So, let me guess. Her husband was the executioner for Kazuma's father, and he's going to be part of the trial. Okay. And maybe Kazuma's even after him because of that. Okay. I see. I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, in what prison is your husband engaged? Barclay Prison, Mr. Sholmes. Really? Barclay? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there's a large cemetery just behind it. Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery. Huh? No. Lowgate Cemetery? The very place we were discussing in court. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, my dear fellow. And yet, undeniable. Stop reading my mind, Sholmes. Sorry, Mr. Sholmes. I'm afraid you've lost me. Ah, pay no heed, madam. Pay no heed. A private matter. This can't be really a coincidence, can it? So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance. When did you realize he was missing? Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday. I'm sorry, yesterday? That really is recent. Laughably so. The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not all out of the ordinary for him not to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day, that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever could have happened? My dear Miss Vigil, please, calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police? Why, naturally. But sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas, and my husband has only been missing for 1 day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
In truth, Miss Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
And furthermore, let me assure you, you will have to pay me for doing so. Our chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it.
You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention.
You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Miss Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation.
Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir.
Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report. I'm quite sure.
So soon? Oh, splendid, Mr. Sholmes.
Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. The photograph of Mr. Vigil has been entered into the court record. Uh-oh. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you the door.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous. You know, I think it's every time, Hurley. But how do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure?
I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow. If by that time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case?
Yes. My hearing was surprisingly good, actually.
Excellent.
And what did you make of it?
Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked, at Barclay Prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that.
Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison, so it was renowned among the students at the university for becoming haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated.
The professor. And now a warder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry. Run along to the prison and see what you can glean. Would you? It's the prison governor. It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried.
But are you going to investigate yourself?
Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this hair. I mean, he kind of has a point on that one.
But didn't you go out in Lime Street with that hair?
That was quite a different matter. So I leave it in that capable hands now, if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, he went outside with his hair like that because it was going to solve the mystery that plagues all of humanity. How to pay the rent. Now that he's not using it to pay the rent, fuck no, he ain't going out.
Of course you are.
Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing into a lonely burial ground. Its four high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in a watchtower. Yeah, I like the guillotine clock is pretty neat. Also, oh my god, that's a big... That bird barely fits in the fucking cage. God damn. You need to get that thing a bigger cage. Holy shit. That bird's gonna just die in there. Jesus, jeez. Oh, damn, alright. This place is full of hardened criminals. I cannot nah, I can't do that one for that one. The place is full of hardened criminals. I cannot remember the last time a civilian was down here. And you didn't want to talk to an inmate, but to me. You can know who I am. I'm the governor, Barry Kaiden. Oh, yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. And an Easterner, I say. Does that mean? Yes, I'm visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did you say Japan? Yeah? And there's no... well, there's no any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, we can ask you some questions as I work on your accent. I don't like to be so direct, but... oh, yes, I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you suspicious-looking Easterners. No. I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you suspicious-looking Easterners. No, get out of my head. Nah, okay, I can't do something that rough. This guy's gonna be in here a while. As soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means...
I think it's because of the professor case.
You think so too? 10 years ago, Genshin Asogi made quite an impact on Great Britain, also known as Professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then, after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in a cemetery behind the prison.
I might have known. Sniffing around about the case, aren't you? Your agents say part of the professor's great web, no doubt.
No, not at all. We're just...
hey, go on with ya before I punch your lights out.
We're going. Clearly the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not going to go anywhere out of here. So the problem with this guy is... he's got an accent that's kind of similar to Gina, but but it feels like it should be like a little bit deeper. Otherwise, it's just going to end up being Gina's voice. So I don't know if I should go with the voice, the accent the game is trying to give him is, or if I should just say fuck it and just use a different voice. I don't know what to do for the fucking General Armstrong over here. Or Governor Armstrong, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, Jesus Christ. He's about to yell at me about nanomachines. Okay, never mind. He has a bit too much hair for that.
Governor Kaiden.
What are you thinking, Mr. Sato?
I feel sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us.
Come to think of it, have I the same feeling?
I said Groot.
I said Groot.
I said Groot. I said Groot.
That's Professor Mikitobo over there.
Hello, you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I've unpacked.
But where's Judge Jikoku?
Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to the legal bigwigs.
Having only just arrived in the country today, goodness, he's full of energy.
Professor, you mentioned something before. About how you know the prison governor at Barclay Prison?
Oh, Governor Kaiden, you mean?
So it is the same man.
Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners.
Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story.
Oh, would you? That would be wonderful, if you have time now.
Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. I'm sitting in a chair reading a newspaper. You know how much newspapers mean to me, especially when I print all my stories about Spider-Man in them.
Busy drinking coffee with a comfortable seat.
Now, I have a lot of prepare for tomorrow, you know.
Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikitobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or could it just be that you, Naruhodo, are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts?
Let's not fall out now. I have an idea.
What's he writing on that piece of paper?
Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully, when he sees my name, he'll change his tune.
Ah, thank you. The letter of introduction has been entered into the court record. Good luck, then.
Good luck then.
He's trying to get a pet for his son. He's one of those omnipresents everywhere. Alright. Oh. Blackbird Line. Oh, this is the boat they took. Okay. Professor Mikitoba has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit trustworthy. Is it just me, or does that make me sound extremely untrustworthy? I do wish he'd at least call you a nice young man. I'm really not sure that would help. Oh, it looks just like this for some steamship ticket. The SS Grouse, first class cabin 1. Yokohama departure 11 September. London arrival 1st November. Oh, that's the boat that Professor Mikitoba and Judge Shikoku came in from Japan, isn't it? Yes, I think it's called the Dunkirk, on the north coast of France for a night before finally arriving in Dover. I think it's been almost a year since we arrived in Dover on the SS Bertia. It seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think? Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary, and I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone? Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo? Did I imagine it? Or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? Details of the letter introduction have been... Oh, okay. Updated letter of introduction report. If you just cast your eyes over here, Governor Caden.
What's this then? How can I put a wheel of my eyes? You good for nothing Japanese student.
Yeah, I guess we'll just do his voice again.
What's this then? You cannot put a wool over my eyes, you good for nothing Japanese student. Mikitoba. That young jock from the forensics laboratory. That Mikitoba.
Yes, exactly, him. Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yujin Mikitoba's daughter, Sasato.
Jinx, you're the young man's daughter. And you did not think to mention that before.
I do apologize.
Aye, well, you best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't know what to do for this guy's voice.
And don't forget to try at least one of these wee handcuff biscuits.
Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the onset now.
So then, what can I do for you then?
Well, we're currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing.
Missing?
That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor.
I have near nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison.
Oh, but how can that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, your chief warder.
Eh? Visual?
That's right. His wife came to us and asked to investigate his disappearance. Let's get the part about him only gone missing yesterday for now. Clearly that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir?
Aye, of course.
We understand that Mr. Vigil was the chief warder here at the prison.
Aye, he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated on the job. No doubt about it. He was a fine warder.
Sorry, did you say was?
Aye, he doesn't work anymore. He left the job.
Oh my. When was this exactly?
There's a question. When was it about? I cannot have been much less than 10 years ago now.
What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago?
Aye, as I mind it. Didn't Ken have any idea the fellow's name and all the time? That's a word if he's gone missing though.
But Miss Vigil made no mention of it. I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. Governor Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here?
That's important, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it may be. What were you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't help but wondering, given that it was 10 years ago, which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison. So, Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of chief warder 10 years ago, you're telling us? What happened to make him leave the job?
In actual fact, he didn't have a job. He did not leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter.
You mean he was dismissed?
It was after a particular walk.
Sorry, a walk.
Aye, that's a word for it in here. A walk to the gallows.
An execution.
It's the job of the chief warder to participate in the gallows tree and overseeing executions, you see. Only, Vigil did something unthinkable on the last walk he was manning.
What did he do?
I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. But I can tell you that it's very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post.
But why wouldn't Miss Vigil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here.
I wouldn't have cared anything about that, I'm afraid.
Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal?
Then what would that be in?
That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's? My thoughts exactly.
I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm not at liberty to answer that.
I see. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted.
The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research. Do you ken?
Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable.
Our father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement of St. Sinners. It's still in use today.
St. Sinners? That's come up before, I'm sure.
Yes, that's right. We've been there.
Mugatoba and I often used the road in a carriage together and negotiate terms.
For more fresh material, I suppose.
Aye, yeah, we used to sit there in here for hours and grab on about discussions, dissection and all sorts. Oh, it takes me back. Over a pot of tea and a plate of cough biscuits, of course.
How charming.
He was a good fellow, your father. Reliable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I never understood you Japanese.
Because of Genshin Asogi, I suppose? He made quite an impact on you, didn't he, sir?
Well, I cannot tell you anything else.
Thank you so much for your time, Governor.
Oh, one moment before you weigh in. I'm sure I have it in here somewhere.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stormpike. Did it take you this entire time to become a guildie? Aw, someone's catching up to me. Well, considering the way John keeps saying it, that he literally said that you and I were part of the guild after, like, us being there for, what, 3 months plus in Nax? And then also signing up to the K40 even the months ago, so, yep. I have a feeling if it wasn't for some of the other guild members getting mad, he probably would let you have one piece of ATS run.
Oh, found it here. Here, take this. This is a wee souvenir for you. Visitor the prison.
What is it?
That's Vigil's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course.
Oh my. Are you sure?
Aye, it's no trouble at all. It's not the original mind.
Vigil's dismissal notice has been entered into the court record. Thank you very much, Governor Caden.
Well, in return, do me a favor and never come back here. Our case is closed. And forget when I'm testifying on the stage and my voice sounds very much like the judge's. And then we're gonna have to do the judge's voice like this, and then I'm gonna have to do my voice like this, and then the judge's like this when he's asking questions. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? It's gonna be a real shit show.
I'll have to figure out a new voice for him then. Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being. Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Sholmes with what we found about Mr. Vigil.
Good gracious, we sound the same. Oh, and this other guy, this Jikoku, he's also a judge and has the same voice as well. Oh wow, I can't wait till we're all on the same panel. Oh, Mr. Jikoku, it's a long time no see. Oh yeah, we have the same voice, Judge. Great nice to see you. Oh yes, I'm also the prison warden, Mr. Caden. The entire legal system, it's just us.
What would we tell Miss Vigil, I wonder? Ah, look. We have opportunity here now, while the governor's away. Mr. Naruhodo, you could be in prison if you were caught. That's a good point. Perhaps not then. What? But I want to look at the guillotine clock. Alright, we gotta look at the chunky boy, though. Wait, really? I can't look at anything? Boo. Is, Jikoku here? No. Chief Warder Daily Vigil was relieved of his post with immediate effect of having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct of Prisons. Oh, I get it. He was supposed to put... The clause is supposed to be Clause 123, but he wasn't summoning anybody. Okay, yeah, I can see you getting kicked for not doing that. All rights of redundancy pay and other financial benefits are fully revoked. Aiding and abetting the escape from this prison a convict, blank, just prior to his execution. Details of the escape are being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Prison Governor Barry Caden. Additional notes. Indications that a jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed the convict engaged in some form of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding those negotiations will be demanded. Okay, so he was part of the professor's escape plan, I guess? Okay. We're back. Hello, you two.
Hello, you two. I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all.
Ah, so that's what the delicious smell is. Greetings, my dear fellows. You've returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Do you like my Ganyu cosplay? She's my favorite 4-star. Also, one second. Ouch. Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application.
Oh my.
Pray, tell me, what of our water friend? Have you garnered some new information? Oh, yes. I'm assuming you knew what his name was all from the beginning. That he was part of the professor case, because you were probably involved as well. And you knew he wasn't there anymore and was fired, and that's why you sent us. You conniving, annoying piece of shit. How dare you? Oh, yes. Something very surprising, in fact. Though it's not a patch of your hair, to be honest.
It most certainly isn't. But still, we discovered that... Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes! This is more important.
Gina?
I cannot believe it. What's happened?
Clearly a very grave matter indeed. For Miss Lestrade made no mention of my hair whatsoever.
It's the boss.
What do you mean? Inspector Gregson?
The boss.
Oh, she found out that he's... No, I don't think he's dead. I think he never told Gina that he was going to London.
The boss says he's dead.
What?
They just found his body, shot with a pistol.
What? Okay, never mind. I guess he's actually shot. But Inspector Gregson, he was murdered? No, he was just shot so far.
No, not Gregsy.
Come in, my dear girl. Tell us what the whole story.
Sniff, sniff.
Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was he really shot?
I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene.
Where did this take place?
A little rented room in the building full of flats on Frenzo Street.
The outskirts of town. Where near his home? Nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then.
The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there.
Oh, how strange.
The boss was. He was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was going to show him. I was going to show him that I'd become a proper detective. Oh, Ginny.
So, who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is?
They got him already.
Already? They caught the shooter up so soon?
A witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down there. The boys got straight down there and took care of him.
Who?
What awful person did this? It was some Eastern fella. It was your friend, the one that revealed himself in court the other day. I still can't believe it myself. Gina. It was the Reaper.
Oh. Interesting. Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord Van Zeeks for it?
That's right. The Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss.
No. Lord Van Zeeks. Are you quite sure, Mr. Strawn? It's Barak Van Zeeks the police have arrested.
I saw him with my own eyes. It's the interview room at the yard.
I don't believe it. I mean, it's not like Scotland Yard has a good track record of arresting the right person.
But there were witnesses. They're all saying it was him.
So you mean
There were actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got down to the scene, there was only the boss and the Reaper broke in the room.
But there's no way Lord Van Zeeks would have taken Gregson's life. I literally don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
Thank you for informing us, Mr. Strawn. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry.
What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come and all, as soon as you can. You've got to help.
I have not played the first Phoenix Wright. I watched the first Phoenix Wright many years ago. Another streamer play it. Oh, I've actually watched the first 3 Phoenix Wright games be streamed, and I've never actually played them. This is technically my first Ace Attorney game. Is the detective's lot to appear? Is the detective's lot to appear wherever some sinister plot has unfolded? Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there in being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming, How could I let this happen to Gregson? To Gregson? Well, I mean, they did a fake out turnabout goodbyes with the second one, so maybe it will happen again, or probably not. Oh wait, or do you mean that somebody's about to be possessed by Gregson? Oh, is Gina gonna be possessed by Gregson's ghost and turn into him? That's one thing we've missed in this game. We haven't had any possessions yet. Mr. Naruhodo, I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you intended to do so anyway. Until later then. Inspector Gregson dead, and Lord Van Zeeks arrested?
Bruno, Susie, I've called you a handsome. It's waiting outside.
Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Mrs. Sato?
Yes.
Is the one defending Edward. Okay. Merry Christmas means it's not Christmas. Oh, it's almost Christmas means it's not Christmas. Oh, are we gonna have a return of the metal detector? Here he is, Lord Van Zeeks behind bars.
So it's true. He really was arrested.
He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us. Lord Van Zeeks. Also, I realize I'm like literally messing up every single case in cramming it into the one that you've mentioned. I think I'm literally combining multiple cases. The Merry Christmas one was, I think that was one with like a lot of heart in it, I think. Where there was on the boat and someone yells Merry Christmas and the gun goes off. Was that Edgeworth? Edgeworth was the one you're talking about is the one where they say he shot the other prosecutor guy. The Von Karma. Or somebody in the elevator. I think I'm mixing up multiple cases into one. I haven't watched them in so long. I think I'm just jumbling a bunch of cases into one large case. You know what? It might as well be the one with the circus and the monkey for all I know. Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be, with the last person on Earth I'd like to see. I couldn't very well not come. We heard about what happened. That Inspector Gregson was... Go home. This has nothing to do with you. But... Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but I must disagree. We need to be able to go to the crime scene and investigate it. And the only way we can do that is by having you agree to be... to allow us to defend you in court. We must be defense attorneys. So here, sign the paper and let's get all this passed. We can save like 8 pages of dialogue if we just do it this way. Forgive me, Lord Van Zieks, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. At the very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with this investigation, please. There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading in the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case? This. The Yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share the details with the suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance. Oh, who might that be? Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Airbrain. Of course, yes. I keep forgetting they went to the same university. And I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? What is it you want to know? Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Van Zieks never minces his words. But they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zieks? What happened? How much do you already know? We know that the inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Frenzo Street, and that you were found there by the police when the, wow, I'm reading nothing today. And that you were found there by the police when they arrived at the scene and immediately arrested. You were told that there was nobody else in the room, and that some witnesses heard a gunshot. Then you're well informed, and there's really nothing I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened to myself. But the gunshot, obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I am not in the habit of shooting people I work alongside. I also heard the noise, however. Before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened. If I might ask, what were you doing in that place to begin with? I don't need to answer that. Oh. After all, you're not representing me. He's going to need a lawyer, though. Who's going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Zieks? Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Ha. Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as of yet? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, all of the defendants I prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now. Surely not. I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole. But you didn't actually have anything to do with those people's deaths, did you? It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Valley. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, It seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that. What does that mean? After the trial, Professor Harebrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany. I thought. It's a letter to inform me of the safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and air. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper. Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean? Yes, so it seems. Your stooped little nymph and his friend, for example. You told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Harebrain is safely back in Germany now? He is. So, it appears our conversation has run dry. There was a 2-second silence there, that's all. Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you. I was wondering, Lord Van Zieks, if you'd like to be happy to, I'd be happy to advocate for you. You trust me, do you? Yeah. I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another's life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly. It's a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one. What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you Nimponese. But, please. I have no intention of engaging your services. The chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems. I'd appreciate it if you don't visit again. Then neither of us will waste any more time. Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zieks and what happened to Inspector Gregson. Well, I guess if Inspector Gregson is dead, I guess I can put his voice on someone else now. Nah, he'll be another fake out. This really is an out-of-the-way part of London. I doubt many people will find their way down this back street. So this dust-ridden rented old room is where it happened then. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. Oh boy, a red wig. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps this investigation has taken him elsewhere. Oi, what do you think you're doing here? Every one of them drawers has got to be taken out right so you can look underneath and all. I want the space above the ceiling checked if you don't forget to look inside the chimney stack too. Blimey, ain't you got a lot of... Ain't you... God, I have a hard time reading today. Blimey, ain't you lot never gone over the house looking for dough and the owners were out of town? Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. Oh, so you turned up at last? Mind you, I ain't been here long myself. Hello again, Gina. Sholmes has only just left. You're lucky you missed that. You're lucky you missed that. You went prancing around here all pouting and stuff and flicking this and that and just scampered. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? Yeah. He didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Listen, Otto, you're a lawyer, right? Yeah. Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper broke, are you? Oh, poor Gina. She's never going to forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever. Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Zieks really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court.
I suppose you're right. Yeah. Go on then, Oro. Get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here.
Thank you, Gina. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place?
That's what I want to know. It's what, half a year since I got out of the clink. That's when I decided to give up my diving and become a detective instead.
Oh yeah, Mr. Shulman's twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you as an apprentice, didn't he?
Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I really know as much about the boss. I didn't really know much about the boss until then. But it turns out, there's a bit of a legend about the yard.
Goodness, really?
They say he managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that.
He did?
Well, and ever since then, he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half the cases he's working on are, apparently.
That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So, what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this?
I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all, so I look where that landed him.
Respect for the Reaper? In what way?
I heard him say as much. I take my hat off to the fella. What his words?
Not how the general public feels, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper.
Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke.
I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper in quite such a high regard.
He said something else to me and all. That I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after people that were bad. I did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that.
Right. Oops. What is this place then? Does anyone live here?
Apparently he's been rented to some cove called Hugh Boone.
Hugh Boone? What? It's a sort of here today, gone tomorrow name, that isn't it? What is it? What was that? Okay. What is that? What is that phrase trying to imply? Hugh Boone? Sort of a here today, gone tomorrow name? You mean by that I assume he means it's kind of a forgettable name? Because Hugh Bone isn't a name, doesn't sound like a name you just forget. You're like, oh shit, yeah, Hugh Bone. Or is it Hugh Boone? I don't know why I'm saying bone now. I don't know. Whatever Japanese phrase that was that they had to translate into English, I agree.
Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. I haven't been able to get much stuff with him.
I see. Well, so, I mean, unless you're trying to say like his name was John Doe, and they're like, wait, what? I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever.
Right. All the lads in the yard piled down there to get stuck in an investigation. But they're still living here. No one knew what to do with themselves.
I do wonder. Yes, Mr. Sato?
Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself?
What? How could that be?
Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his.
I never even considered that.
Nice work, Susie. They're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves.
You are?
If you look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that
We should really investigate this place in detail.
I see that's where the poor inspector was found. Over there. Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently, the bullet went right through him and struck the candle tree on the wall.
Oh yes, it's blown one of the candles completely apart.
And the gun used isn't there on the floor. It's the Reaper's in it. No denying that.
What, really?
How do you know that? Take it easy. I I don't know what to do with it myself when you stare at me with them big wide eyes. I'm only saying we've got what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself. But there's some bigwig lawman or whatever who said so. Why don't you ask him?
A bigwig lawman?
Is it? Anyway, Frenzy Street runs along under the window there. Where there were some street sellers just outside who heard this gunshot. Oh, but I don't really recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken down to the yard for questioning, and that's why. We're talking about the yard's designated inspector here. After all, they'll be getting a grilling.
Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves?
I doubt it. The lads at the yard will just want to know what you're snooping in for and be up for a grilling and all.
So we can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. John Doman. Okay, that's actually a... We gotta use that next time. Also, before I start inspecting, give me a second. I need to step away, get a drink, get my voice back. It's kind of like dying out on me. Give me a second. Okay. A little second away, a little refresh on the drink.
This looks like some sort of notice board or something.
And it's absolutely covered in scraps of paper.
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, look.
This,
You mean?
it's an autopsy report, isn't it?
And these are case notes. There are details of prison inmates.
Yes. In fact, these are all sorts of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went down in this room?
Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here.
Oh yes, the advertisement you mean. To the Redhead League. But why? What's that doing here?
Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah,
What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head.
it's my mom. They are, look. Mr. Naruhodo, quickly.
Oh, her. Okay. Huh. Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow? That's because we literally just met her.
Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning.
Ah, it's Miss Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Miss Vigil in here? Because this is where her husband has been maybe faffing around. Maybe this is where he's getting his money from somehow? I thought he was doing something illegal. Maybe he's helping Gregson. Interesting. To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped.
I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either.
The framed photograph has been entered into the court record. Excuse me, finding the latch on the back of it that lets us oh, okay. We can't flip the painting around. And that's not a physical thing either. This is, and this will be something that we'll use later for some reason. An empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it?
It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time.
In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather.
Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely.
No, that's right. It's one or the other. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oops.
Oh, funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is! A bright red hairpiece.
And I suppose the fact that it's right here next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs.
Will you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs?
When you accept that, Inspector Gregson wears wigs, does it? So either... So here's going to be my early guess. Inspector Gregson was going to be going to London. He had a lot of open cases that he either needed to pass on to someone else or end since he was going to London. So he might have been meeting with the old executioner who is maybe undercover. And that's what's going on. And that led to his death. But we'll see.
And in such a flame-colored red, too.
Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it?
Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it.
The red hairpiece has been entered into the court record. Yeah, he's joining Ronald McDonald. I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like.
That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruhodo. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you?
I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have to use a lot of bird line to keep it in place on your head. So it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean.
That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think?
So I suppose this is where the victim...
That's right. The rope was laid around the body to show exactly how it was found.
Poor Inspector Gregson himself has hardly been taken away. And would probably be under Dr. Sife's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week. In the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball.
Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that blood stain next to it.
Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can even be worse than reality.
Tasaro-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am. This is presumably the murder weapon then.
Oh my. It's real, I suppose.
I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know of anything about them.
There's one way to know I'm sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot.
No, no, no. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. Slightly safer than just ask someone who might know, I think. The killer's revolver has been entered into the court record. Okay, so it has a connector? Like it would be on a chain or something? I suppose this must have been the murder weapon.
Oh my. It is real, I suppose.
I think so. Guns are so rare. Okay, we just what? Okay, so you're not allowed to inspect it any further. All right. Oh, what's this?
It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way.
Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson?
It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zeeks playing with something like this.
It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have been from someone's pocket. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case.
Yes, I agree. It's rather delightful after all, in a way.
The policeman figurine has been entered into the court record. Especially since that look quite used. Like it's worn here on the edges, got a little bit of grime on it, I guess. Or that's just the natural darkness of the suit. Can't find anything out of place.
The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear.
I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part does look like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Shall we try twisting it around and around too? For fun? Let me guess, it pops off. Ah. Oh, what's that?
It appears to be some sort of key.
But it's tiny though. It couldn't be a key for a door, not at that size. So what's it for, I wonder? A model of British policeman found at the scene of the crime in Francis Street, giving a twist causes a key-like shaft to pop out of the base. Is it for a music box? Or a winding clock or something like that? That's what it could seem. I could use that for like winding a clock. Like the executioner's clock in the warden's room. Or the governor's room, whatever the fuck that guy's position was called. The prison governor. This looks like some sort of key.
Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key.
What's a little key doing inside a figurine of a policeman in the first place? And what's it for? The top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off. Yes, there's a wax spattered on the floor behind. Look. I suppose if a bullet had hit it, it does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. Yeah, but there's no hole in the wall. Like, it didn't impact the wall, it seems. There's not even like a mark on the wallpaper. Ugh, now that the wax on the wall looks like a blood to me. A candelabrum from the wall of the room on the front of the street where the inspector was found dead. The top of one of the candles appears to have been blown off. The big black smudge on it, too. Ah, there are some black marks here, look.
Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks.
So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's the only candle that's been cracked in half, it seems.
Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them.
All right. Well, that's not a gun. That's not a gun thing. It wouldn't leave the giant big black mark. So that's something else. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed these boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore.
Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, it was totally blocked up with bricks. This one does at least still have some light in it, don't you think?
You could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel like even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. Yeah, we're one-upping his room. It's a murder scene, but at least it has windows. Excuse me.
If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things in the yard.
I've interrupted some deep thoughts there. Alright, where's Mr. Sholmes showing up randomly? I think we got everything. Excuse me.
Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir.
Right. Perhaps I'd better leave you for your work then. Yeah, it looks about it. I don't think Gina knows that much about guns.
Who would know much about guns? Professor Nekatoba? Unsure.
Gina, what do you make of this?
What is that? Evidence? Work something out about what happened, have you?
Oh, no, not exactly.
I ain't been long enough in the job to get all this deduction business yet, but I swear I'm gonna get the person what did this to the boss.
Okay, yeah, none of this is gonna matter to Gina. I'm assuming the Chief Justice will be the person I ask about the gun.
You've made good time.
I took an express train back to London. I can hear Lord Strongheart. Can you?
Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone.
The new okay. Yeah, he definitely has been.
Is everything in place?
I found a private compartment in the train so I could check all the paperwork. It's
Kazuma-sama.
Ah, your timing is impeccable.
It is?
No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry.
Yes.
I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Van Zieks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson.
I believe in only the facts, and the facts in the case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zieks with this crime. We must bring charges upon the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective.
Oh no, surely not.
It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and inadequate and equitable process.
So does that mean the trial is tomorrow?
Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions.
Kazuma?
Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Sogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings, leading the prosecution.
Wait. What? Kazuma?
As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law.
Kazuma-sama. A prosecutor?
I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock.
Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
But Lord Van Zieks firmly denies any involvement in such matters.
And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent.
That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least until now.
Ah,
No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history.
Yep. Alright, well, I've been thinking that you've been evil for a while, and now I'm definitely convinced. So, Kazuma will be prosecuted tomorrow?
That's right.
but he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles.
Huh?
And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I've no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor.
But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
You
Asked for this? But why?
It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you?
Huh?
Although, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation.
I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented, like there's lots of, I don't know, personal interest in this trial. Quite exceptional, in fact.
You're all quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary's closing ranks.
So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution.
Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed. After practicing law in this land for so many months.
Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Oh yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zieks?
That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene.
Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know.
That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct.
It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in the law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah, almost as if it could also be assigned to, I don't know, a warder in a prison? Maybe a chief warder in a prison?
In that case, it could be actually have belonged to the victim.
No, Gregson had his gun on his person.
What about Lord Van Zieks?
He claims it's currently not in his possession. What? According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
Just because the gun in question is the same type as the defense is no proof it actually is his.
No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zieks. I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be alright now.
Has your memory completely returned?
Yes, completely. I remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do.
Right.
Kazuma-sama, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia?
It was the voice. The past year. I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London.
I'm sorry for what's happened.
Anyway, my memory is right to have returned to me. Might have returned to me. But there's something I won't return to the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Huh? It doesn't look like we're going to glean much here.
Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart.
Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our Empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery.
Bitch, you wish. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Before you go, Ryunosuke.
Oh, what is it, Kazuma?
I just wanted to thank you.
Kazuma-sama, what?
You took my determination to heart and brought it with you to the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection.
You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want to let it die with you.
Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here.
Oh?
I actually have a favor to ask.
Which is?
This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me, as the defense counsel.
Huh? Why? What's this all about?
I know you have what it takes.
But Lord Van Zieks would never put his fate in my hands.
On the contrary, he recognizes your talents.
He does?
It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes.
Yeah, just don't say melon to him, and he'll be fine.
Here, have a look at this.
That's Lord Van Zieks and Inspector Gregson. And a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it, probably with his brother. And who's the third person? Oh, come on, we know it's his brother.
It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office.
In Gregson's office, you mean?
Yes, what I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take in a different view.
Take it. Gregson's photograph has been entered into the court record. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this?
Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over.
What are you doing, Kazuma? Lord Van Zieks is still reading that letter.
We've been gone quite some time, though.
Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might be able to read English faster than he can. I was intending to ignore you entirely. But I cannot turn a deaf ear to such insulting Nipponese. Oh, sorry. Didn't think you'd hear that. Unlike you, Mr. Naruhodo, I am not hard of hearing. I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time.
Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow.
Which is none of your business. So, have you found a lawyer? How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you. In other words, no.
We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor of your trial has been decided.
I'd expect nothing less. I thought though I have no idea who it is. It's going to be Kazuma Asogi. Asogi? That made the color drain from his face. Ah, well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. Lord Van Zeeks, we came by this old photograph. Where did you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost. This is the man on the left there. Yes, that's my brother, Clint. The details of Gregson's photograph have been updated in the court record. It had to be, really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you. You know, were you aware of that? The respect? That's nonsense. No, we heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gino Lestrade, no less. Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you. I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, an insight into the true nature of his man known to all as a stone-cold reaper of the Bailey. 10 years ago, my older brother, who was at the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asogi.
Genshin Asogi made a great impact on your life, didn't he? Was Kazuma-sama's father.
Well, so what cruel twist of fate it is now, 10 years later. The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court. I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It's what he does, no doubt. He knew the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could I have been hoping to achieve?
Unless I forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign the trial to somebody like that? Asogi, that name, is the very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you Nipponese. Right. Your hatred of all us Japanese. I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother, Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down the mass murderer, the so-called professor. Assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard. And that was Genshin Asogi? Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong.
Oh, how awful.
To revenge my brother, I prosecuted in Asogi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented. What did you mean by the ascribed prosecutor? The man in charge of the Professor case inquiry, Lord Mael Strongheart. Wait, what? Lord Strongheart? He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he is the one person whom I felt indebted. I'm sure he must have seen you as a zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor. Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you? Ah, and, of all things, as a lawyer. I felt your animosity the first time I ever laid face on you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese. I kept telling myself it was all logical. But for so many years, the hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it. And I can understand why, now I know the history. But in the same way that I have long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Sogi, I am the bane of his. The reaper who set his father to the gallows is looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in the court tomorrow. Gregson's transfer to the Paris police prefecture has finally been arranged for the coming month, but he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he? I wonder, does it happen often? Big transfer internationally, I mean? It is the first time I've ever heard encountered it. Oh, the Paris police welcoming an English detective is most inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked on to put the arrangement in place. It sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed. I'm afraid to say that we were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard. Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made the name for himself, by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made. What sort of approach? After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy. Oh my, 10 years ago? Why is that so surprising? Autopsy was considered the desecration of the body at the time, and rarely performed. But guess who did it? It was your father! Your father did the autopsy. And my brother was of course a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined that it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death. So, you must have a great confidence in the inspector's abilities then. And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life. Inspector Gregson. About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene. Ah, yes. That's not mine. Really? Because common opinion seems to say that it is. What do you expect me to say to that? Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm? As embarrassing as it is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That, I don't know. Oh, I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. You know, the prosecution gun. The one that I used to kill everybody from the prosecutor's bench. Everybody knows that that's my job. I must have stored it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps. You have something in common with Lord Van Zieks, after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things. Aha, it was actually Kazuma. He took the gun out of your office and used that to kill Professor Gregson. Because he thinks Professor Gregson framed your father. Or something. No. This has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it. Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nymphonese.
Oh dear. The rift is very wide, isn't it?
So it's not decisive evidence, clearly, but it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh? That's the first time he's ever used my actual name. I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I am willing to believe in. What's that? That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. The simple determination to know the truth. Lord Van Zeeks. From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome Nymphonese, who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. Huh? There are only two other men I've known with the same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Asogi. It made quite an impact on my life. The man he idolized is the man who betrayed his trust in the most heinous way. True. Do you think I need a gun to defend myself? Why do you think I have all my wine bottles? I kill everybody with it. See, that's why I practice my throwing skills while I'm doing a trial. Look at all the people that I've killed in the bench while they're just watching us. They're watching me do a trial and I kill them. I kill them all. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me. You mean this photograph? Back then I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I looked to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire at which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe. So, I'm sorry? So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me? Of course I will. It would be an honor.
I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
Then my life is in your hands. For Lord Van Zeeks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask, which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend Kazuma. To be continued. Okay, so if I do this next part, it's going to be like another 2 hours, and I don't know if I have another 2 hours in me. So I think even though it's a little bit shorter than normal, I'm going to be stopping now. And I'm going to pick this up again tomorrow during the day. Probably around like 1 or 2 or something like that. And I'll probably put in maybe 4 hours or so. But I don't have another 2 hours in me today. It's just not there. When it comes to the voice. Especially if I'm going to have to be shifting through a bunch. So I'll be back again tomorrow. So Wednesday and Thursday, I'll be doing day streams each day. And we'll be continuing this case. I don't know if it'll even be finished by then. If it's not finished by then, I'll probably also be doing it again. I mean, I'm going to be streaming pretty much all week from here on in. So it will be day streams for Wednesday, Thursday, and probably Friday. And then I should be alone and have nothing to do on Saturday. So I'll probably do a Saturday stream. If not to finish off this case, if not probably starting the 6th case. So I will, or the fifth episode, I mean, in this one. So I will be putting a lot of stuff into Ace Attorney this weekend and a lot into my streams. I wanted to stream yesterday, but the time kind of lost me. So I wasn't really able to. But pretty much this entire weekend, I'll be able to stream. So look forward to lots of streams. I'll definitely be finishing this case, and we'll be going right on to it. So I won't be doing any other streams besides finishing Ace Attorney. Whether it be completed this week or into next week and finish then. But I will be finishing off Ace Attorney before I start any other new games. So thank you all for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow, and I'll see you all next time. There you go. We'll save it here so I don't have to sit through the title of where we came in. the long, slow ticking. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.